Now, one of my favorite things about video games and looking into them is the fact that you can sometimes find gems of cancelled features, things that didn't make it to the game, and concept art, and much more. And through my time doing YouTube and covering the whole Test Drive franchise, TDU2 secrets and also TDU1 secrets have been covered a lot on this channel, as you can clearly see by all the thumbnails I have on this side, all the past videos I've made. In fact, I should have made a playlist specifically for these videos. Maybe I will later. But anyways, huge shout out to a member named Scapegoat, because he sent me over this link probably a couple months ago, and I never actually went to make a video about it until now. Because there's been some beautiful cancelled features yet again from TDU2, and you really start to, it really kind of opens your eyes of how much this game could have been. Well, TDU2 that is. And unfortunately, Atari on the verge of bankruptcy and obviously the failure at the time, TDU2 wasn't a game that, you know, Alan Janu or any of the people at Eden Games really wanted. So let's take a look at some more cancelled features, starting off with the nightclub. Now, as we all know, I've covered this before, but nightclubs were supposed to be a thing in TDU2. You had actual licensed nightclubs on the island of Ibiza, one of them being Pacha, for example, which, if you've been to Ibiza before, that is a famous nightclub on the island. We were supposed to be able to enter it, but albeit it got cancelled. Now, a huge shout out to a developer who posted their information about the whole game design of TD2, and you'll see a lot of cancelled stuff. Now, this is from Nicholas. As you guys can see, he does say he was a game designer on TD2, and he says, on this project, I've made essentially game design tasks, so proposition, documentation, setup and tuning, and scrum management. When I arrived on Test Drive Limited 2, I worked on the design of an additional game mode, the nightclub. Wow. Okay, it's funny because we have nightclubs in TDSC. However, I think there's more to be done with the whole plant headquarters and stuff like that. But anyways, we'll move on. So he goes on to say the main idea was to add a social area to the game where players could chat and dance. We designed a dance mini game with contests and trophies. We were 2 designers on this task. Finally, it was decided to stop production of this game mode due to budget and time constraints. Unfortunate, guys, but let's take a look at what he's created here for this game mode. And also, it seems that the other developer he was working with is Jerome. Not sure where these two work now. I don't know if they're at Kiloton or anything. I didn't really look into it, but anyways, let's see. Okay, so here's the image, and we're gonna have to take a look at this one by one, starting off with this, the dance floor. Now, the text is a bit like messy. This is the best quality I could have grabbed the text in. But anyways, the dance floor. So this is a place where dance competitions will take place. An NPC will be used as an interface for the competition create ranked competitions or competition between friends. This character would be a DJ or VIP customer. So already you can kind of see where I wish the street headquarters would have something like this, because at the moment it's just kind of there to challenge your friends. You can still go there to dance, but there needs to be some mini games within it to make it more fun, right? Anyways, the quiz floor. So this is the area of the club dedicated to car culture. The player will participate against his friends to take a quiz. It'll look like a TV show. The quiz will take place in front of the giant screen with questions displayed on it. Now, I can't really I think these are just like screen grabs of other games just to visualize what the game designer is trying to look for. But it says each player can bet money, game money, obviously not real life money, at the beginning of the game, and the winner takes it all. We can have game modes with no fee, with game objects for awards, cars, clothes. These are the kind of questions we can have in the game. Easy. What color are most Ferraris? So I'm gonna say Ferrari red. I think it's like, I hope I passed that. Hard. When did Mercedes-Benz introduce the diesel-powered vehicle? 1935 or 1954? It's definitely not 1995. Anyway, so stuff like that. That's a pretty fun game mode. Moving on. I'm not sure if it's supposed to go left to. I'm assuming it's just gonna go this way. Next one was this. So spot my party. The idea is to allow a player to host a party in his living room. Hold up. This is a cancelled house feature. All houses are not compatible with this mode. We need room to place a dance floor in the living room. So this is what I'm saying about TDSC needs more than just TD2 houses. I don't want to see just, you know, TD2 houses, man. Don't get me wrong, I want to see houses, but there can be so much more done to them. And that same thing concept goes for dealerships as well. Just take a quick little break from this whole thing. Dealerships in TDUSC are pretty good. They're just like TDU2 with a little bit more in it. However, imagine if we could select a YSAC package for your Porsche. Imagine you could change and inspect the calipers, you know, more detail. That's what I mean by taking it further. Unfortunately, that's not something that they did for Solar Crown, but I'm very welcome to see it post-launch if that's what KT are going to work on. But with that being said, stuff like that on houses and other TDU features, I want to see them come back more. Like, shows the innovation in the whole TDU franchise, because although TDU1 from TDU2 was a jump, TDU2 to TDUC can be so much more than that, and fingers crossed Kiloton shows that throughout the next years of post-launch support. But let's go back and see this game mode. So as I was saying, this is only the level 4 houses will allow the player to host a dance party like a club. So those are the larger houses in TDU2, like the Mineral House, you know, the House of the Waterfall. I think everyone remembers that name in Oahu. All the songs are of... Wait, all the songs he finished in the nightclub will be unlocked in this house. Okay, I kind of understand that. However, to keep the speciality of the nightclub, there will be lesser game modes in the house. Okay, to start a party, the player needs to invite people in his house. Then to start the dance mode, he must use a specific TV channel. Oh my god, bro. We missed on so much. The player can make a playlist of his favorite tunes. The playlist is a combination of the tunes he finished in each nightclub. Okay, so as he finishes tunes in nightclubs, he gains access to it in his house. A local rank system will be available on the TV, question mark. So already this is crazy. Now you have the dance floor here. I'm not really sure what that one pertains to. Game creation. To launch the game, the player must talk to NPC. Okay, so this is kind of like, this is like serious like game design, where this is a rough idea. So I think this is just how the menu would work. I forgot what, there's a specific name for this that like game designers use, but this is basically like blah 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 blah. I think that just says dance select. You have multiplayer games, so this is basically all the things you have. Available public games. Okay. Arnaud, I think that's actually the name of a developer that works at KT. Don't think that's but anyways, more stuff here for the menus, as you guys can see, but that's that for the nightclubs. We've missed out on a lot, and I think it's pretty clear of that. I mean, I've told you guys many times, the TDU2 game we got wasn't the TDU2 that I'm sure many of the eating games developers really wanted to have. Atari was just in a struggling position. They didn't have the money to even fund. In fact, when TDU2 was created, they didn't even have the money to fund it to begin with. So unfortunately, we got the TDU2 we got. However, considering Nakan is nowhere near as bad as Atari in terms of financial position, I think the TDU future is pretty damn bright. But let's take a look at another thing he said regarding some co-op game modes, which I really do hope KT listens to this video and take a look at. Let's see. So the developer goes on to say, after nightclub mode, I worked on special cooperative game modes. The idea was to find game modes in which players had to work together to succeed and not fight against each other. I mean, that's the whole thing about a big MMO. A lot of propositions were made, and 2 cooperative modes made it in the final game. So we all know what those will be, and we'll explain. You can probably already see it on the screen, but let's take a look at what this document says. Now, the text of this document's like a lot worse in terms of reading, so I'll try and figure out. I think this is like the beginning of the page, but anyways, let's take a look at what we have here. So challenges co-op, place to find, no deadline, take your time, start location, free ride. Players receive a picture on a piece. Oh, players receive a picture of a place in Hawaii or Ibiza. Players start at a different players start at a different start position. When the player arrives, he can help the other player by guiding them or setting a GPS position. Requirements, players 2 to 8. Car requirements, no. So how I think this works is, you know what kind of reminds me of? Motorfest has this new game mode where like it shows a picture on your screen and it tells you when you have to like turn left or right. I think this is that, but this is better, to be fair. So it looks like you get a picture of a place on the map and you have to get there with your whole team, and you all start at different positions on the... Bro, what am I missing out? Yo, these are some fire game modes. Hopefully that, like, Kiloton, I'm telling you, these, and you could probably combine it with the whole photo mode in TD2. If you guys remember, it's like a Photoshop where you have to like find pictures. This could be that, but like revamped. Honestly, this is a gem of a document. Moving on, we got Cooperative Frog, which actually is in TDU2, basically, and let me see if it explains it roughly the same. You guys know Leapfrog, you go one after the other. In TDU2, basically, there was a co-op mode. I forgot there was 2 names for it, but anyways, one of them was you have 8 players in your lobby, and in like an actual race, and what you have to do, I'll put it up like on the screen, an example if I have some gameplay of it. Basically, the first person, but basically one person is chosen at a time, and that person has to lead the group, and then once they cross the checkpoint, another person is chosen, and then that person has to guide the players to the next checkpoint, so on and so forth, until you get to the final end of the race. Now, the goal of this is that, assuming you all do really well, you should have a very low time overall, because you all, as soon as one person passes the checkpoint, the next person goes forward and passes it, you know, so on and so forth. It's a pretty fun game mode, to be honest, and it is missing from Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, but hopefully we see that post-launch. And while we're here, Follow the Leader is another one. Actually, I think that's what I just explained, but Follow the Leader is another one that made it to the final game of TDU2, and yeah, all players need to get to the finish line. Okay, so yeah, that's the one I explained. Which one did I not explain properly? I think it was the like Leapfrog one. Yeah, actually, I made a mistake. What I just explained to you was called Follow the Leader. Leapfrog was called something else, and actually what that one was is called Keep Your Distance. And how that worked was that you had a set distance in this race, and you earned points for all of you being in the same distance. And obviously, as long as you all kept the same distance from each other from start to finish, you'd have a high score, and you'd have turns and all that. So that's how that one works. That's basically Cooperative Frog. I think that's what they turn it into. And Follow the Leader is what I told you guys about. There's a leader every checkpoint, and you have to get to the end of it. So there's that. Let's see what else we have. We have Relay, which all players but the first one are, oh my god, bro, this text is crazy to read, bro. I tried like finding like a text upscaler or something, but no, it did not work. The driving player needs to park his car on a hologram behind the next driver's car. When the car is stopped on the park, the next car is ready to go. The time of the last car which crosses the finish line is kept. But how I think this works is it's like a relay. So like, you know like Olympics would just happen, like 400-meter relay. That's how it works. You stop at the next point, and then the next person goes, which again is a pretty smart game mode. You could probably make this into a clan thing where it's Streets versus Sharps in TDUSC, but there's a lot of potential for TDU post-launch, guys. I'm not even joking. And then obviously the roadmap is gonna come out in the near future before the game launches. I think we're gonna like that one. Anyways, next we got group pictures. This one had no deadline anyways. So in this mode, the player has to take a picture of a special event. Server objectives can be required for a picture. Here's a list of some pictures. Take a picture of a plane taking off with 4 cars in the picture. Okay, so these are like group pictures then. Take a picture of 8 Ferraris in front of a Mercedes car dealer. Oh my god. Trying to pull that one off is a crazy one. Okay, so this is just like a group picture co-op mode. Okay, that's pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, there are a lot of things here, but let's see what else the developer said. So the developer went on to say that he also worked on the car database, which I'll put up on the screen for you guys right now. He said he was in charge of the car customization, so you have to research on a lot of car configurators available on websites from car manufacturers, outside colors, inside colors, textures, whatever. He edited it in a database. He also worked on traffic cars behaviors. He also worked on the camera for TD2, as well as some post effects such as exhaust, smoke, and all that as such, even camera shake. And then he also said he took place in the focus test where he brought the game to England, and just to see how the players were going to react to the game depending on what happened. And it was a one-way mirror, so the players could not be distracted by the designer. That's a pretty cool thing. There's so much to game development that you don't really notice, but he does say he had to make a huge report to the lead game designer and the project manager after the focus test was over. Some improvements were made, but the release date was too close to the focus test for all changes to be made. Unfortunate. I think that's mainly the physics. But nonetheless, pretty interesting, guys. Hope you did enjoy this video. Let me know what game mode you enjoyed or what game mode you heard about this. It's funny to see, and so many things have been canceled from TDU2. like I told you guys, I'll probably make a playlist and compile it for you so you can really see how much was missing, and now you can see how much potential TDU2 has post-launch. All KT have to do is also listen to how the community feedbacks and how the community is reacting to certain things. And I think the future is quite bright, and I can't wait to tell you guys more information about the game in the very near future. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Alex7. I'll see you guys in another video. Kiloton, if you're watching this, you have some pretty good ideas to work on. Maybe revamp them, improve them, make them better. I'm Alex7. I'm out, guys. Peace.